remind me, always to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom in this current world, which people think of as America, in the scriptures, is Babylon the Great. Y'all are Babylon. So we want to go into the scriptures. Prove that destruction is coming to this place here. But before we get started, we want to give all praise and glory to
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadas.
also brother honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, shall reward to the dead, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right? So without further ado, hey, let's get into destruction, man. Because people still think that this land is going to go on forever, not knowing what's to come. So we out here to warn the people, blowing the trumpet. All right?
Okay.
We got to get into it. Start from the top.
Joel chapter 2 and 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
Yeah, we blowing the trumpet in Zion. Zion is talking about the Israelites. So we're out here to warn our people. Because you don't want to get caught up in what's to come. You want to see that salvation from the Lord, who the world calls Jesus, whose real name is Yahushua. You want to see salvation from him. He is the only way out of here. All right, so we have to sound the alarm, blow the trumpet, to let you know that fire is coming on this place to burn everything up.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
God, the day of the Lord cometh is nigh at hand. The scriptures say that our salvation is nearer than we believe. You know, so we don't really know how much time we got here. We could have 3 weeks. We could have 3 years. You know, but still, it doesn't matter. We still got to continue to work, do things that's pleasing to the Lord, continue to pray and have faith. All right? To God.
Verse 2. A day of darkness and a gloominess, a day of clouds and a thick darkness.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be no type of light in here. This is the light right here, man. This is the wisdom of light. Scriptures like Revelation 12 talks about the sun and the moon. The sun and moon represents knowledge and wisdom. All right, so in that time, there's not going to be any sight, any light in sight. No type of wisdom out here. People are going to be lost, man. It's straight up darkness. It's not, because it's still, you know, the sun's still going to rise at that time. You know, but hey, it ain't going to be no type of understanding for those that don't have it. All right, so that's that gloomy darkness. Continue on. I got to put this on. Okay, come.
Amos chapter 5 and 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Yeah, the day of the Lord is darkness. Pure darkness, man. And that may be literal at night because the EMP hit and all the grid is shut off, man. All the lights are shut off. Can you imagine being in a city like this, like Atlanta, and there's no light out here? No, there's no light at all, man. And during that time, it's going to be hunt season for a lot of people. They're going to be looking for food, they're going to be looking for housing, any type of resources. They may see one little flashlight from a mile away, they're coming after you, man. That's how it's going to be in that time.
I looked ahead and feared of the lion, and it there met him, and went into the house, and laid his head on the wall, and the serpent bit him.
Yeah, there's no escaping, man. You may run from, you may escape a plague, or you may escape famine, but you might catch one to the chest, man.
Yeah.
And that's gonna happen for real. Or you may catch all this shit at once. You may be dying of starvation. You may be getting beat to death. You may have a plague, some type of sickness. Whatever it takes to come. Damn jungle bumps and all of that. Crown, you might have all of that. You're still getting robbed, you're still starving. And then all of a sudden, you get attacked, man. That finally takes you out. Well, the Lord may preserve you all the way to the missiles, man. So it's going to be a great judgment filled with a lot of pain at that time. Long-lasting pain, man. All right? Yeah.
Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
Yeah, no brightness, man. So nobody really should be looking forward to that day, unless you're part of the elect, or part of the hopeful elect, I should say. We're looking for that time, because we know what we got to do to get out of here. We're doing it. We just hoping the Lord to keep us with the Holy Spirit. Really, that's really the only way out of this place, man. There's no other way. No, it is another way. Death and destruction, then you get reincarnated into the kingdom. But that's going to come with a lot of pain.
This is Ephesians 6, and starting at verse, give me 1 second.
I think it's 13.
Yep, 13. This is
Again, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There have not been ever the light, neither shall be any more after it.
Let's stop going to the nuclear missile. Because back in that time, Joel didn't know how to describe a missile. The only weapon used for destruction back then was spears, bow and arrows, and swords, man. Of course they had other type of things, blades, whatever. But he didn't know what this was. All he knew was something that looked strong and powerful, and that caused a lot of destruction.
It says, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burning.
Yeah, so when you think about how this book, it has the destruction in the front. That's where the warheads and everything are. And then you have the missile part in the back that's actually pushing. So that's what he was describing right here. It has the fire in the back that's making it cool, and then it has the destruction in the front. Do that again about the church. It says,
read on, it says, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burning.
right. You had the fire before, and behind them a flame burning. You describe it like the message. Let's look at the subject.
Land is like the garden of Eden before them.
Yeah, the land is beautiful, looking like the Garden of Eden. America is a beautiful place. Certain land, you have forests, mountains, ice lakes, all of them beaches. But guess what?
It says, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
What's going to be left behind them in this city is a desolate wilderness. Nothing's going to survive this. No animal. You're going to have animals that's going to fly over here, certain birds, desert birds, desert scorpions and things like that. That's all that's going to be over here after this.
Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing shall escape.
The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
If you see the North Korea and what's another? I know North Korea, I think Russia do it too. They have like the trucks, the silos,
Yep.
with the missiles in them. If you look at them, they look like the appearance of horses.
Watch out.
You know how a horse is made? You know how they sit up?
Hey, y'all, watch
You got a strap, the hands being at the top. And then you got the feet which are the wheels on the truck. It's the appearance of a horse.
Like I said too, that horse goes to that power too.
Right.
I was going to that next. Verse 5, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. As a strong people sit in battle array. Verse 6. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather gladly. All faces shall gather up.
People are literally burning while they stand on their feet. The skin is going to turn the skin is going to melt off the bones, off the flesh. It's literally going to be cooked like you in the oven. In fact, you get that.
Zechariah 14 and 12. This shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
That's not talking about Israelis over there in our land. That's not talking about, they're going to catch it too, man. Their land is going to be hit with some destruction, but it's going to be, we're going to have these heathens out here rebuild for us. They're going to put in their work. Get our land back to where it can be inhabited. All right? But let's talking about people that's fighting against us, all of our enemies. When you go into, I believe it's the book of Psalms, chapter 83, if I'm not mistaken, it talks about all the enemies of the Lord. Those are all the enemies against Jerusalem, which are the Israelites, not the city, but the people. So those that fight against us, we better live by the shepherd.
Zechariah 14 and 12 again. It says, what part do you want me to read? Zechariah 14 and 12 again. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Yeah, man, that's nuclear fire, man. That's the only thing that can do that. And even when the volcano go off, you know, it'll burn you, but you're not gonna dissolve unless you actually sit in the lava. This is gonna be that strong wind that talks about in I believe that's Jeremiah 51. Yeah, that's that wind, man, that wind of destruction. All right, there's no other weapon, no other natural disaster that can do what the scriptures are saying, but nuclear missiles.
This is Malachi 4, start from the top. For, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts.
All that do wickedly. That's why we're out here blowing the trumpet. You know, you need to turn back from the wicked ways, or you're going to be turned into stubble. Plain and simple, man. Look at all these movies that's showing you nuclear destruction. Look at all the news articles in the Daily World News that's talking about nuclear wars coming soon. Russia threatening America. North Korea threatening America. Iran threatening America. Russia threatening America. All these countries going to get together and they're going to shoot their whole arsenal in this place. And it's going to be nasty out here.
Now, this is Revelation 9, so in verse 15, before angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, to slay third-party men, which represents the sons of the wicked. Verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard a number of them. All right, so 200 million missiles, okay? And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having a breastplate of fire. Hey, that's describing the nuclear missile right here, okay? It says, It says, having breastplates of fire and of ginseng and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as heads of lions, and out of their mouth issued fire and smoke and brimstone. And by these three was the third part of man killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouth. Because those are going into those troubles, okay? And also those separations, right? Those lists come out to the silo, right? Opening up to what? Hit his target. Okay, I'm trying to get into
No flavor on shit.
God. Verse 19, for their power is in their mouth and in their tail, like the brother was going into. All right? That fire coming out his tail that allows those arrows, all right? Or in other words, those missiles or those darts to hit his target. Okay? It says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tail, for their tails were like unto serpents, and they had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils, and idols of gold, and silver, and brass, and stone, and of wood, neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thieves.
They're gonna destroy all of this land, and they're not gonna feel bad about what they did. They're gonna kill hundreds of thousands of people, probably close to 1 billion people. Because it says the third man, well, that's talking about the sons of the wicked, but they gonna kill all of these millions of people and still not feel sorry about it.
That lets you know Esau can't be saved.
Right, exactly, man. That lets you know how wicked this devil is, man. Going back to Hiroshima, the war was over, and this cracker still goddamn hit him with a missile, man, after the war. Just to show he got the power to do that.
That's just real. I was watching a video about that, and they said they just targeted random cities. Like those cities were just random. There was no military bases on those cities. Right.
Wow.
It's the devil, man. They just destroyed the city of so-called innocent people.
Yeah, man. If this devil can go out and hunt all kind of animals for fun, man, and kill niggas and brag about it. And what makes you think that this man can receive some type of salvation? There's no understanding in him. He's full of wickedness and destruction, and he loved death. Esau is the devil, man. You got some more on that?
Kind of going back to the Malachi.
This devil is the devil. This so-called white man is the devil. Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So yeah, this devil's soul is not right in him. He was made, he was fashioned in this manner. He was fashioned to do these things. Esau, it's the ways
That's Joshua.
wasted away his feet. He's the waster. Everything he has the death touch. There's a thing called the golden touch. He has the death touch. Everything he touches, eventually it dies. He wastes away. The scriptures say the Lord created all things for himself, even the wicked for the day of evil. Esau is the wicked for the day of evil.
Yep.
That's the only reason why he's created, and also to be our servant. Also to do as much shit as he can. Give us a reason to kick his ass every day in the kingdom. He's gonna earn that ass kicking, man. Well, to play the city, man. For the lies and robbery. As a matter of fact,
This Malachi 4 is starting from the top. 4. Behold, the day cometh, that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all them that do wickedly shall be stubble, and in the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave neither root nor branch.
You're just not going to leave anything here, man. No grass, no branches, no roots, everything in the ground, above the ground, and in the sky. It's going to be dissolved away. All right? Start
Oh, bloody Nahum 3 and 1.
Yeah, they want three.
This is Nahum 3, start from the top. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not.
I believe that's talking about Nineveh. But it's associated with, today's, the scriptures are, so associated with today's destruction as well.
Yeah, because that's twofold. Nineveh the ancient day and Nineveh today. Babylon the Great.
Just like Babylon back then, ancient Babylon, and Babylon the Great today. America is called all these wicked cities, man. Sodom, Egypt. It's that spirit that's on America. So the Lord is about to destroy this place because he already gave it a bad name even back then. All right, that's more.
Jumping down to verse 3, the horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses. And there is none end of their corpse. They stumble upon their corpse.
It's gonna be bodies out here. Even before those missiles come, it's gonna be a hell of bodies out the street, man. And those missiles is gonna come and clean everything else up, man. And that fire is gonna be made to purify this place.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations to her home.
Come on, man, that's something about America. This place was set up to be destroyed. This place was literally set up for the Lord to try to dwell in for 300 years. And for us to serve our last term of slavery. And that's it, man. That's the only reason why America was created. But now it's about to be brought down.
I'm finish it up. That selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will destroy thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee. And
it's like he said, I will show the nations, basically going to uncover this place. That's why all these other allies of America, that fits right in place with Revelation 17, where it says they're going to hate the whore.
Right.
They're going to hate this place. This place is going to be uncovered. People are going to see what's going on here. The real America. How much filth is coming out of this place. And they plans to destroy everybody. And they're going to be like, no, we ain't with that. And they're going to destroy this place.
Yo.
The spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
This Jeremiah 51, start from the top. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon banners, that shall ban her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
They're going to be against her round about. And what about all of these other allies, enemies of America? They got Russia and I want to say China. Most definitely, Russia got ties to these Northern Kingdom countries that are like I believe Colombia.
It's
tied with Russia.
yeah.
Got ties
Well, you got Argentina. They just basically put in their application to join the BRICS nations, and then Brazil is also in the BRICS nations, and Russia is associated with Venezuela. And
Yeah, man. So, those missiles, they literally surrounding this place. I won't be surprised if something happened to Canada. They're gonna hop on board. I won't be surprised. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's real. But this place is gonna be surrounded by destruction. And it's gonna just make it so easy for it to fall down.
Yeah. But the scripture says this place will be destroyed within an hour.
1 hour.
Speeding destruction. God, continuing on, verse 3. This is Jeremiah 51 and 3. Against him that lifteth the archer in his boat, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, the water. And spare ye not her young men, destroying ye utterly all her host. Go down to verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, every one unto his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto the heaven, and is lifted up even into the sky.
Yeah, man, this place is beyond, even now, man, destruction ain't even came yet. This place is beyond being repaired.
right.
America can't be healed right now. But they think they got a plan for this new world order where everybody be up under one, pretty much up under one ruler, one rulership. And that's going to fail. It's going to backfire. There's no way to heal this place. You got all these different diseases out here. You got everybody up against each other. You got family members against each other. You got Democrats and Republicans. This place is so divided that it's impossible for it to go on, man.
Yeah, the scriptures say the love of many shall wax cold. So like you see people getting killed over cold French fries and too much mayonnaise on a sandwich.
Yeah,
It should tell you something right now.
Too much mayonnaise. That's a stupid way to go out. Hey, that's the dumbest way to go out.
So-
Put too much mayonnaise on your sandwich. Somebody niggas just get mad and shoot you. And of course, it was more too. It was probably running about, you know, saying some things. That's just fucking with it. But hey, the love of men is wax cold, man. Everybody here is busy. Inflation is at an all-time low. You can't do it against the people that run into ridiculous system just to pay bills.
Yeah.
Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. Because remember, this is still Rome in the reincarnation. All right? So they still have certain things they kept in Rome is playing out today in America. Okay? Like the whole,
switching out.
like the Senate, for example.
It's
Right, you have
already
the
20 now,
Democrats
man,
and the
so-
Republicans. All right? And as Bo was going into, this whole country is divided. Hey, the scripture talks about Satan against Satan. So this great horde is going to easily fall. Because everybody's not under one doctrine, one sound mind. But through the spirit of power, how about you now? So we are. It says, Jeremiah 51, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth into the heaven. It is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. Yahweh Shemel Shah.
Yeah.
Make bright the arrows, gather the shield. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, For his device is against Babylon, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple.
Yeah, the Lord put the spirit on Esau, that devil Oppenheimer, to create these nuclear missiles, man. The Lord put the spirit on him to do that. Those missiles are created for Yahweh Shah, for all salvation.
Right.
And the destruction of Esau. But people don't understand it. They think that, Esau created these missiles as a defense way to conquer other countries. No, that was created for their destruction. And that's the only thing that's gonna be used for the downfall of Esau and destroying America.
I may add to the point, but the brother said it spot on as far as the missiles being created for the great judgment of Esau in this society. Also, the wicked of our people, man. The judgment of the wicked of our people who join hand in hand, with this devil, with his society. And then, the heathens mixed in that the Most High wanted to destroy in the midst of, anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to add to another point. That judgment ultimately was befit to fall upon Edom Esau, but by extension, the wicked of our people and the heathens as well, man. That's why we come out here to tell our people to get right with Yahweh Shah while there's still time. You got it.
God, man, they gotta be dumb as hell, man. Like Esau being destroyed so Jake can rise up. But the wicked of all people being destroyed because they just don't want to fucking listen. We out here blowing the trumpet, telling you how to survive out of this, telling you how to get salvation, but you refuse to listen, man. All people gotta be destroyed with this place. Man, I'm so glad there ain't gonna be no niggas in the kingdom. All that niggerism, all that bullshit it's gonna be destroyed, man. It's gonna die with this place. It's gonna be nothing but righteousness going forward.
Since the brother was saying, there is a way to escape this. And the only individual that's going to escape is the elect. Ephesians 6, verse 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with a will, he shall be able to quit all the fiery darts of the wicked. If you go to that word, darts, in the Greek, it's balos. And it goes to javelin and missiles. Also arrows. That was it.
Yep.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the that are therein shall be burned up.
Everything is gonna be burned up here, including you niggas, man.
Right.
Esau eating the wicked, the devils, and you niggas gonna die together, man. That's gonna be a righteous death, man. It's gonna be righteous judgment coming from the Lord. Because we not only oppressed by Esau eating the devil, we're oppressed by you niggas too, man. We gotta continue to lock all cars, lock all doors because of niggas, man.
Right.
You can't go to certain areas if there's too many niggas there. You gotta be in the house at a certain time because there's niggas in the street. You gotta be destroyed, man. You don't want to listen. You don't want to get right. You want to ignore the scriptures. You don't want to take the Lord for granted. You don't want to take the Lord serious. So, is the Lord gonna take you serious? Hell no. You're gonna die in this place with your person, with your enemies.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought you to be?
What manner of person ought you to be? You know the destruction is coming. You know the missiles are coming. We're not going to be out here blowing guns and smoke and destroying our temples. Go out here and smash and ring the window. It ain't about that right now. The time there is to get walk with Yahweh Shah.
It says, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
All holy conversation with godliness. This should be the number one thing on your mind is you making out of this place before the missiles come.
Right.
All right, we go over the news. You know, we look at different news articles, turn on TV every morning, and look at how much chaos is going on around the world. And we ask the Lord, man, wake up all, wake up, so we can get the hell out of here, man. Really, the Lord is just waiting for the elect to be sealed, and then the angels going to just let the destruction go. All right, so at this time, today, even a few years back, and going forward, you should be thinking about destruction and how to get right with the Lord. That's what manner of person you ought to be.
Yeah, that's why I was going to get a specific Psalms, going into what manner of person always be. Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." That's the spirit that we should be in, the spirit that King David was in. All right, asking Yahweh Bashaniah Shah to arise and disappoint this devil. All right, to destroy his new world order, to destroy his wicked kingdom. That's the spirit that we're in. Yes, 2 Peter 3:12. Looking forward and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord. There the Most High, when the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
The elements will melt with fervent heat, man. Everything out here is going to be destroyed and melted down. Everything you see, man, it's not even going to be any insects out here. Everything got to go. It says the elements, all type of elements. What's that scientific chart? Periodic table. Look at all these different elements. You know how much heat it takes to melt this element. How much heat it takes to melt that element. All of that's going to be melted down, man. These bunkers, they cannot withstand nuclear destruction. I did a lesson on that a while back. They were saying how much heat and how much destruction a bunker can hold, but then you look at the average missile, it was like 100 times worse than that, man. There's really no way to hide. There's nowhere to go when that destruction comes.
God, this is Revelation 20, starting at verse 13. "And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up to the dead which were in it. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death."
Yeah, man, the second death is going to be that nuclear destruction. All right? That death and that hell, that's what's coming from the wicked, who is Esau Edom. So the scripture says he is as death. As a matter of fact, the pale horse, it's talking about Esau. That's death, man. Yeah, man, but all of it, oppression, death, diseases, all your burdens and all of that is going to be destroyed in this place. That lake of fire is going to be the miracle.
Continuing on in Revelation 20 and verse 15. "And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire."
Yeah, whosoever is not found written in the book of life, and our main goal right now, it ain't to make sure all your damn bills are paid and get that job you always wanted and to make as much money as you can. The main goal right now is to make sure. Don't wait till the last damn minute. The news are actually going to be that emergency broadcast going on, let you know the missiles on the way. Then you're going to try and get right. It's going to be too late, man. And the elect, Yahweh Shah probably came and gathered the elect before that. You're going to be left with it. Hoping that you can get saved some type of way after you done dismissed the whole blessing.
The brothers going into, what should we be doing? This is Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. fear the Most High, and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Every work into judgment, man. Everything that you're doing right now, you need to apply wisdom to it. And you need to include the whole about you out shop and all your thoughts, everything that you do. Fear the Lord, keep his commandments. It's that simple. Actually, being a nigga is a little bit more difficult than that. Take the easy way, man. This is the easy way out of this place. It's not hard being righteous. It's not hard coming out here teaching. It's not hard reading these scriptures and learning. This is actually freeing us, letting us know that we don't have to sit here and try and retire in this place, work our ass off and live off a cheap-ass retirement plan that ain't gonna take care of you. We actually got a real promise ahead of us. And the Lord is not slack concerning that promise. I believe we skipped over that part in 2 Peter, but hey, the Lord is not slack, man. He said all these things are gonna happen, it came. It happened. Prophecy happened. Now, the next thing is gonna happen. The mark. After that, nuclear missiles. But in the midst, you're gonna have the elect being saved. That's what we're waiting for. So the Lord got all these promises, and they're coming true, man. All right. So I pray that was edifying. I'm about to step down and let the next one speak.
Yeah, man. You know, that was beautiful. You know, the brother went into the destruction, you know, of America. But before we get there, all of us are going to be tried, man. You know, the rich, the poor, you know, the born, all of them until they're eliminated. So, you know, I was just looking up all the executive orders that Biden has signed from the beginning of the year. This thing is supposed to be that. You know, just as latest is about cryptocurrency and digital.
That's what you are.
Digital money. All right, and we know all of that is leading up to the MOT. All right, for the photograph, I see it. For the whole Revelation 13, 17, 17, and Revelation 3 and 10. We're going to go with Isaiah 10 and 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Yeah, and this latest, prescription that this devil has wrote is to further his agenda, which he thinks he's going to be able to chip the elect. Now, the everyday Joe Schmo and the everyday two-thirds, they're going to willingly run into the chip, man, because it's going to be presented to them as something that's new and innovative and, convenient for them, all right? So he's not even worried about the masses of the people. He's really focusing in on the elect because, if possible, he will deceive the very elect. But we know it's not going to be possible because why? My brother grabbed me 1 Corinthians, what's that, 2 and 17. Papa Shop, 1 Corinthians chapter 2. 11. Hey, because this devil, what he's doing by pushing these different legislations is getting our people further and further from the truth and gradually pushing them towards wickedness. Because once you take that MOTP, stage IP, hey, you're giving up everything to this devil. You accepting the fact that this thing is master and Lord of you. Alright? So we got him. And we know what's going on, man. Alright? Because we're in the know. Alright? And we're coming out here, like the brother was saying, we're pushing out the gospel, lifting up our voice as a trumpet in order to warn our people of the coming temptation, which is the CHIP, and also the coming destruction, which are those nuclear missiles that are going to be shot in this place. So not ignorant. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get the advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, we're not ignorant of this nigga's wicked thoughts and his agenda, you know, to chip the entire world, man. Most importantly, those of us that are the sheep of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, that are not going to go astray. Because like I said, man, 2/3, they're already over, man. They're going to be lined up to get the chip. A nigga's going to be lined up like it's blue pair of J's, man, when it comes time to get chipped. Because they want to be up on the current trend, you know, of this world. And that's going to be very tempting, man, all right? And not only tempting, the first wave are going to be those that are willingly going to take it. The second wave is going to be those that can't eat, that can't buy or sell, that are going to flock to the chip. And the third wave are just going to be, hey, us, the men of the Lord, who's just going to say, fuck it, we ain't taking it, you know, and get it by any means necessary. And the Lord is going to have to put the Spirit on us in order to withhold and stand the test of temptation, man, that this devil is going to put with, you know? And Lord willing, we be those men. Finish that out.
2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
We're not ignorant of his devices. We know everything, all these executive orders, man, that he's signing, we know what it's leading up to. These other people are just thinking that, hey, Steve Joe is just signing these executive orders in the best interest of the American citizens. Not knowing that he's leading so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, to the damnation, man. All right, we're not to set up the heathen above us, man. All right, we're supposed to take Yahweh Shem Yahushai as our Lord and Savior. All right, and go to Him for the want of all things. All right, and for the need of all things. Okay, so we're not looking to this devil to put something in us in order for us to survive, man. You know, we're trying to do the opposite. We're doing what the Lord commanded us to do in order to survive and get us through that hour of temptation, man. Because like the brother said, man, this place is going to be destroyed in 1 hour, man. All right? Lord willing, we hold fast to what we believe in. That way we ain't even got to go through the fire of death, man. And taste the sting of death. We'll be watching the destruction from above, man, from the chariot. You know? Come back to that. I go to 150.
Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they prescribe. Verse 2. To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
Yeah, those are those that are feeble and what's that, vulnerable. You're not supposed to deal treacherous with those that can't defend themselves. You know, single women, children, the elderly, you know, the poor. All right? That's against what God wants us about. You know? But I have this article here. From the beginning of the year, it says 2022. In 2022, Joseph R. Biden Jr. published 17 executive orders. So 17 executive orders from January to August. You know, that's damn near on average two a month. You know, and it's all in wickedness, man. It ain't nothing in these executive orders to uplift and exalt our people to a better stance in this society, man. It's further to put us under, and put us under. You know, they're not going into these meetings thinking, man, how could we, you know, get the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out of the poverty-stricken neighborhoods, all right, to cleanse the water in Flint, Michigan. How could we better the land on these reservation camps that they got gad on? You know, all that shit is on the back burner. They not even looking, you know, as far as our people. All it is to push their new world order, man, and to CHIP you people, man. You know? So in 2022, Joe R. Biden published 17 executive orders from 14.062 to 14.079 these 17 executive orders, and I'm just going to go down the list and name it, not all 17. You know, it says securing assets to reproductive and other healthcare services. So this nigga is putting in a executive order because you know Roe versus Wade just got overturned. So to protect their right in order to go do so. You know, it says you know, protecting assets to reproductive health services, enhancing the national forum, continuing to strengthen Americans' access to affordable quality health care coverage, which we know when our people are given affordable health care, it's just for them to go down to these, it's just for them to go down to Planned Parenthood and to continue the genocide against our people, man. All right? Because our people, especially the males of our nation, man, they don't go to the doctor until they on their goddamn deathbed, you know? And they only give free health care benefits to women and children, man, so they can inject these different serums into them, you know, so they can so-called attend, so they can attend these so-called educational systems, you know, give the woman the right to abort babies. All of it's towards the negative, man. Our people aren't really, because, hey, back in the day, I know I grew up with a grandparent. She always had a remedy for things, you know. We rarely went to the hospital or to the doctor because, hey, the medicine was created from the earth, as it tells you in Apocalypse, okay? So the one I want to point out is the one he did about, you know, digital assets. So the latest one to push for the pass is 14067. Right? And it says advances in digital distribution and ledger technology for financial services. So what does that sound like to you? Alright? And this devil just he's pumping out these CIPs, these microchips in mass production for what? Alright? For Microsoft and Dell and all that. No, man, he's doing this in order to get away from this current system in which we're in, which is a cash society. He wants to go cashless, you know. And once he's able to control the money, he's able to control the people. Once you're not able to buy and sell, as it is, like it tells you in Revelation 13, if a brother got it, you can get it. Bible shop, you know. Who grabbed it?
How about you, bro? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Hey, good to see you, bro.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 10 reads, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Yeah, because we have kept the patience of Yahweh by Shal Shai, and Lord, will those men that aren't going to be tempted to run down to be CHIP, man. You know, we fight that temptation. Go ahead.
Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Yeah, it's going to come upon all the world, all right? So we're not excluded from the temptation. But Lord willing, we are excluded from destruction because we denied this thing, this new world order that this devil is trying to come down with.
Revelation 3:11. Behold, I come quick. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
Yeah, so hold fast which you gain by knowing this truth and by continually trusting on Yahweh outside. She's going to bring us out of these evil and wicked days. You know, starting with Jacob's trouble, all right? Which we won't be utterly destroyed, but we'll be saved out of it, you know?
This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 12. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel,
because you despise his word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking comes suddenly at an instant.
Yeah, talking to the Israelites, man. People found on this chart, man, all the way down from Judah all the way down to Issachar, man. All right, this thing that this devil is pushing, man, is make. Hey, because look, every time something happens, first it was with C-19, and then now it's with the monkeypox. You know, it's targeting the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we're more receptive to all of these diseases. All right? And why is that? Because we have the poorest diet. Our people do not keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Therefore, it opens us up to all of these diseases and all these parasitic foods and things that we're consuming. More commonly, the swine. Our people love swine. Right? And it breaks our bodies down. Therefore, our immune system is not strong as it's. And then the plague and all these diseases come with the first beginning. Why is that, man? Because we're at the bottom of the toilet bowl. But all of this is suddenly going to be taken away, man. Because the Lord is going to come back and refresh, man. He's going to make everything perfect. Right here on earth. It tells you that in Matthew 6 and 10, on earth as it is in heaven. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be established right here on the earth, man. But before that happens, we're going to have to go through these fiery trials and tribulations, man. All right? And which I'm speaking on now is the MOTB, you know? And then after that is the destruction of the missile, which Solomon spoke about, you know? Read verse 11 again, 3 and 11.
Revelation 3 and verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, so that no man take thy crown.
Yeah, because we already have the crown, man. We just have to hold fast and no man take our crown. You know? So this devil is going to try to do everything in his power, man, to tempt the nation of Israel in order for us to get further and further away from our power, man. But Lord willing, you know, during this temptation, we would cleave unto Yahweh outside, even more so then than now. As it tells us in Sirach 2, you know, that when the temptation comes, cleave unto Yahweh outside, man. You know, because men that are tried in the furnace of adversity, that's the ultimate adversity, man, that our people are going to be faced with, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to say right now what you're not going to do and what you're going to be able to do, but when you face with it, when you haven't eaten in several days or haven't had anything to drink, you know, in several days, and you got people depending on you to feed them, what you gonna do then, man? That's when it's really gonna count. Because it's easy right now while you're able to go get a burger, you know, go sit down and dine, you're able to go have a couple of drinks. It's easy right now to say what you will put up with and what you're not gonna put up with, man. But we know a hunger is a driving force that'll make you do things that they think they'll never do, man. That's why you see these different TV commercials and shit like that that are geared towards our people, and they have all type of advertisement. And it's funny at the moment you see these motherfuckers hungry. The Snickers commercial. Why hungry, eat a Snickers or some shit they got. Well, a motherfucker turned to an old nagging grandma because he haven't had anything to eat. You know, a motherfucker will start to eat their kids, man. Eat their next door neighbor when food is in scarcity. All right, when they know the only way to get a meal is by taking MOTB. That's when we're gonna have to make the ultimate decision. But like it says in Revelation 3 and 10, if we keep the patience, the Lord will keep us from the hour of temptation. You know? Yeah, touch it. We'll go to it.
So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2 at the top. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So if we come to serve the Lord, we have to prepare our soul for temptation. How do we prepare? All right, by constantly being flooded and fully engulfed in the prophecies of the Bible. All right, by fully reading these accounts that our forefathers went through and how they were brought out of different situations by holding the patience and being faithful to Yahweh Shah. All right, to constantly go through the worst case scenario in your mind. That way, when it comes, you're already mentally prepared. All right, that's the difference between us here at GMS and the other camps, man. We give it to you raw and skinny. We tell you what the company structure. That way, you can start healing your mind and preparing yourself for what's coming, man. For us to come out here and to tell you everything's going to be okay, that the CHIP is not the MOTB, will be leading you astray, man. So that way, when you face it, you freaking the hell out because you haven't been preparing your mind mentally. Pastor or Bishop this was telling me that everything was going to be okay. Now I can't eat unless I go down to the so-called white man and be CHIP.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to throw a lot of people for a loop, man. You know? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, bro, I did a lesson earlier. I saw a clip on TikTok. They're selling this jewelry for women. Like it's like a charm, but it's really like a. Remember the old what was the shit the old people way back in the day?
What, the first time?
Nah, it was the shit like I fall and I can't get up.
Oh, the life alert.
Life alert. They got that now for basically women, where it's like a gold chain. Look, it's more updated, but it's like, oh God, you're in a sticky situation or panic, or somebody tries to grab you. You hit the button, and if you don't call, if you don't answer the call, they're gonna send somebody to come get you. And I'm like, but a nigga can just snatch that shit off and throw it. So like you said, that idea of security for you women, it's gonna lead you to take the chip. The CHIP. Because why? Instead of you a woman saying, I lean on my husband for protection, your husband saying, hey woman, be in the house by this time. Don't answer the door. Don't do those things. For you to be able to have liberty, your white zaddy, he gonna put that shit in you.
Right. Hey, it's funny you mentioned that because these people are trying to do the work of the prophet. You heard Charleston White talk about yeah, this right here, this is the mark of beat. You want it all day, you can get rid of this shit. And how they gonna track it in?
Come on, man.
Hey man, it's gonna have to be implanted in you, man, for this devil to follow you and track you and cut off your financial situation. For you to eat, be able to buy and sell, trade and commerce and import and export. That shit's gonna have to be embedded in you, so you can't get away from it.
Because everything else has but what about this?
Yeah, right.
Well, if you know the change, somebody can simply say, well, what if they throw it off? Or, well, the phone. You get rid of the phone, chuck the shit. Don't pay your, so I don't pay my lawn, so when I pay my bill, I got the MOTB, but when I don't pay it, I don't got it?
Right. Or I can't buy or sell unless I got my cell phone? Oh, man. That sounds that shit is awful. Go ahead.
Your phone is not going to cause you to have a previous source.
Right. As it tells you, But these guys, man, you need to just be on the internet, man, and troll. Stop trying to do the work of the prophet, man, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You lead more and more people astray. You will have motherfuckers throwing their cell phone away in the day and age in which you need the motherfucker. All right? Well, you tell me that the into the hand or in the forehead, man, you're not going to be able to escape. All right? Because you can implement somebody with something. It's ironclad. You can't get rid of it. You can't turn it off. You can't rig it to where you. I'm gonna do it today, but tomorrow I'm gonna put that shit up. Go back to being a regular citizen. No, man, once you accept that thing, hey, that's your ass, man.
Set that order right and constantly
endure. That's a key word. Not endure for a little time and then you like, man, fuck it, I've endured enough. When the Lord gonna come back. No, man, it's a constant and continual process, man. You can't be a prophet when it benefits you.
That's right.
All right? You can't be a man of the Lord only when it benefits you. And then when you get tired, you say, fuck it. That's not how this thing works. Because when it comes down to you being tempted with that chip, what the Lord just say, fuck you. You know? And he puts you to the back burner. You know? You went, hey, people don't think about that, man. You know, you pick and choose and pick the Lord up and put him down when you get ready. You know, but you want salvation at the end of the day. It don't work like that. It's a constantly endure. All right? Go ahead.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And make not haste in the time of trouble. Run into Daddy Esau, man.
Yep.
Run into Daddy Esau when shit get tough. It's still motherfuckers waiting on the fourth stimulus check, man. These motherfuckers still waiting on the fourth stimulus check. They looking for America to bail them out of every fucking situation, man. Instead of going, it tells you what is that, Isaiah 33:1. Woe to those that trust in counsel but not of me. Yeah, that's our people to a T, man.
Woe to that run down to Egypt.
Woe to you that run down to Egypt for help. You got this bitch Brittany Griner over there in Russia. You got Boosie going live. Why America ain't went over there and did nothing? Nigga trust the white man so much, man, that he think that they can just go over there, take a key and let Brittany Griner out of Russia and bring her back. It don't fucking work like that. But that just goes to show you how much power our people think that Esau has. You know, that goes to show you how much he wants to be bailed out by the so-called white man. If y'all black ass want my out so bad, take y'all ass over there to Russia and get it. You know, why you gotta depend on the so-called white man for every goddamn thing? You know?
I was gonna say real quick, that's why in Revelation 13, it says what? Those that did not worship the image of the beast. Because it's part of it. Jake be so caught up on the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
And they overlook the image.
Yeah.
A lot of you have already submitted and took a knee to the system. That's why when it's presented and it comes, you ain't gonna have no problem. You just gonna line. That's why brothers have dreams. You're always just mad. People line. You people are already lined up.
Yep, they just waiting on the implementation of it, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, that's a beautiful point. You already a part of the system. So whatever the system has to offer, you're gonna be gun ho for it. Because you already been destroyed.
That's right.
You can't even take your mind out of looking upon your daddy Esau. But we know we're under curse if we go to him for the want and need of everything. But when it comes time for him to put something in it, hey, that's where we draw the fucking line, man.
Yeah.
You know? We go to work his jobs and, you know, we do this and do that. You know, get our daily bread and, you know, plug into the matrix here and there, get in, get out. You know, but when it comes time for him to try to chip us and
fuck that.
blow us over, man, miss us with that shit, man. Brother paid the party. Fuck yeah, grab that. Finish that.
Believe unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, say right to you, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, be patient, when thou art changed to a low state.
Yeah.
So right 2 and 5. Gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Yeah, gold is tried in the fire and acceptable man in the face of adversity. So in order to be acceptable in the eyes of the how about you outside, you gotta go through adversity, man. You know, we're gonna have to go through these things that the world is gonna be tempted with, man. But how we react to it is what's gonna separate us from the 2/3, man. We're gonna be tempted with this thing. Don't think we just gonna have it scot-free but they gonna be tempted with it. We good.
Yeah.
We serve you. How about you? No, it says it's gonna come to try the whole entire world, man.
See?
And we're gonna be in that, man. All right, so we gotta keep a level head, man, and we gotta cleave unto your how about you outside even more so then than we do now. While we have liberties, man. All right, that comes along with doing the work while it's daytime, you know, because that day will come where no man will be able to work, you know. All of that, man. Be doing things that are pleasing unto your how about you outside, man. That way you can escape the coming destruction, all right, and be grounded and rooted in what you've learned in order to fan your hand at this devil, man, when he comes to you. Go ahead, hold that.
This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There have no temptation taken you, such as is common to man, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Yeah, so the temptation that the common man has to endure, we have to endure the same thing, you know. But the Lord is not going to push us over that threshold into the point where we have to make a decision that is against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He's just putting you to the level and testing your limits to see are you really going to be faithful to him. All right, and hold off. Right. So, you know, that's the only reason. So the things that we're going through and are going to go through, the common man is going to have to go through and endure as well. You know? But if we be the men of the Lord, man, our end game is going to be different than the end game of a 2/3. Right? And definitely better than the Eagles. You know, they don't even stand a fighting chance. You know, just upon that. Go ahead.
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
Yeah, so the Lord is going to make a way to escape, man. All right, like that standard He's going to give for us, man. When the enemy shall come in as a flood, man. Esau, Edom, the time of Jacob trouble. The MOTV, all of that, man. The Lord is going to make a way for those that have been serving in righteousness and in truth to get away from that and to escape, man. You know? It's upon that shit. That's it. Go back to
So this is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
Yep, go ahead.
Verse 7. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside, lest ye fall.
Yeah, and that goes into the fear. Having a heavy level of fear for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, more so than you got for Esau, is what's going to help you withstand that temptation. You know? What's that, Matthew 20, where it tells you fear them that can kill, fear not them that can kill the body, but can kill both soul and body. You know? You should have a certain level of fear for Yahweh Shem Yahushai that far supersedes any kind of fear you got of man. All right? You're not supposed to fear man. You're supposed to fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But our people got this complex where Esau, Edom is the top dog, and there's no one above him. All right? They look at Esau, Edom as being big God, man. Whether they say it outright or not, their actions show. Because every time they get into a scram or into a pickle, you know, they run to Daddy Esau. They never say, like, how about you got shot, you know, bail me out, you know. Damn, this long. That's always Jake's mindset, man. And the Lord comes secondary when all else has failed. A nigga want to call on the Lord, man. You know, yeah, when they on their deathbed or, you know, they damn near finna get put out, you know.
They woman break up with him.
They woman leave them.
Remember Derek Jack? What was that homo nigga, Derek Jackson?
They ended their YouTube.
Yeah, simp nigga. Remember he was like, his woman broke up with him and shit, and he was like, I went to the Lord and I prayed, and he was like, a few days later, the Lord ain't this. So I was like, man, the hell with this. I was like, yo, a nigga he really thought like, you ain't been with the Lord this whole time. That's how a nigga thinks. You ain't been thinking about the Lord for 10,000 days of your life.
And he's supposed to just drop everything he's doing and come listen to your black ass and answer your prayers. See, the Lord, man, they be treating the Lord as if he's contemptible. And they can put the Lord up, pick the Lord up, and put him down.
They treat him like a beta male giant.
Right.
That's how they treat the Lord. They treat the Lord like the ultimate beta provider.
Right.
Like he a simp or something.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
When I need somebody, but if I don't need one,
That's how these bitches treat the Lord like a simp.
like, bro, come on, man, the Lord don't work like that. You got to put stuff in there.
Matthew chapter 6 and verse 25.
Yep.
Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what you shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Verse 26 says, behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, Yet your heavenly Father giveth them. Are ye not much better than they? Yeah, man. So that temptation, man. You know, folks going into the government for everything, going to Esau. Hey, we got a heavenly Father we can call on. He said if he can feed the birds, you know, and the animals of the air, what are they much better than us? No. We're better than them. And by us calling on the Lord, he's going to take care of us in that time. So we don't need to lean on Esau for this and that. Especially that ultimate temptation, CHIP. You know, we're going to be taken care of in that time.
That's right, brother.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
Yes, it's service. That's the key word. You got to be of service to Yahweh Shai. You know, those of our people that are putting the Lord up and picking them down when they get ready, they're not doing anything to actually serve. They're not sacrificing anything. You know, which is us to come out here and present our bodies as a living sacrifice, which is our reasonable service. We're of servants. We're of some type of servant to Yahweh Shai. Alright? So by us being servant, he said his servant shall eat. Alright? If you ain't serving the Lord and you just want to call over and you need him, then hey, he's gonna treat you the same way, man, in that hour in that day.
Isaiah 65 verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Yeah, so his servants are going to be able to eat and drink. So that goes to show you those that are serving are not going to take MOTB. Because the only way to buy and sell and eat and things of that nature is going to be those that got the CHIP. So if you're a servant of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he's saying you're going to be able to eat and you're going to be able to do all that.
That's right.
It damn sure ain't going to be by way of a CHIP. You know, it's going to be by way of him providing, man, in those days. The Lord made manna rain from heaven, man, when our people were being brought out of Egypt. So you don't necessarily have to go to a supermarket or a farm in order to eat. The Lord can work miracles, man, to feed his
Elijah and the raven, was it Elijah?
Yep.
I was going to say Yahweh and the loaves of bread and the fish.
Exactly.
The Lord said that the miracles that he did, and he was the first.
Right. So if this so-called white man only has a system set up where you can only eat and drink, if you got the CHIP, the Lord's gonna make another way, man, for his servants to eat in that day. All right. So that goes to show you, man, you gotta wholeheartedly believe and have faith that these words are true, man, and that the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, man. Because some men count slackness, but we're long suffering, man, to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know? Go ahead.
Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servants shall sing for the joy of heart. Isaiah 65, the end of 13. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, and he shall be ashamed.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to rejoice. People are going to be ashamed when you see what he's done for us that have declined the MOTC. All right? We've been able to eat, drink, and all of that, and not have CHIP. While you've taken it and given up your soul to Daddy Esau, you're going to be ashamed for that, man. Even into the kingdom of heaven, man, you're going to have a stain on you, man, for taking that MOTC, man. While those of us that have rejected and denied that CHIP, we're going to be rejoicing, man. All right? And we're going to be, Lord willing, man, we're going to be those first in the kingdom of heaven, man. And those of you, 2/3 of our people, you know, are going to have to come back through the loins of an elect man, you know, in the kingdom of heaven. Finish that out.
Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart.
That's right.
And shall
That's the whole verse 14.
and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Go ahead. That's Revelation.
Revelation.
Start with the image.
Revelation 13 and
He the first brother to speak.
Revelation.
Whoa, something all right? Oh no, it was
Revelation
Shalom.
13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had them ruled by the sword, and then live.
Yeah, because this devil with all his enchantment and his artificial technology, it seems as if, you know, he's the alpha and omega, because he's able to create something that can make a blind man see. He's able to create something that can make a lame man walk. He can make something that can have the deaf hear again. Our people see that, like, oh shit, something like that, man, he on the level. When he's really the base of man. He's just been set up, man, in order to serve out his purpose, man. And as Solomon saying, that purpose is coming to an end, man. You know, this devil is being taken out of the way, and the Lord is going to set up one that is profitable, man, which is the nation of Israel over this land. So this devil is not the most high, man. No matter how many brain CIPs he try to make, how many deaf people he try to make here, and how many lanes he try to make walk. You know, they did it, you know, when Moses went to Pharaoh, and the Lord was performing these different miracles. Pharaoh had his men do different enchantments to try to mimic what the Lord was putting on, you know, Egypt. All right? Go ahead.
This is verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark.
So I just want to make mention that the image is the philosophy of this devil, man. The image goes into that wine, you know, because it tells you that America was that horn that sits in front of the beast with the golden cup in her hand, you know, full of abominations, you know, that wine. And he's going throughout the whole earth, making the whole earth drunken, man, on his philosophy. And when those of them that don't want to get down, is either get down or lay down with the so-called white man. That's why he's down there in every country, man, multiple. And if you don't want to go along with the narrative that he's trying to push, he's going to come up with some kind of propaganda in order to invade your shit, man, and take your resources, make your women whores, make your men moles, you know, push democracy on them, you know, tell them that they aren't free, you know, when over there in the Middle East, they're more so in line with the scriptures than over here in the West. You know, they don't let their women do certain things. Their men don't look down on for being homos. You know, all of that, man. They keep their women at the house. They don't let them go out and drive and be in school and all that bullshit. But as soon as America get over there in the name of peace, you know, and trying to bring freedom and push his democracy on the whole world. This nigga was in Afghanistan for 20 years and ain't come out with nothing, you know. That goes to show you he has an ulterior motive, man. You know, he wanted to go over there and push his philosophy and steal these Afghani resources, man. But those people stood up and fought against them devils, man, and ran their ass out of there.
Got something for you.
Go ahead, Doc.
Satan never let it load up.
Because, you know, America just got the hell on. They left all their supplies. They left the fucking schools and the buildings in shambles. You know, they didn't rebuild or any of that, man. Them niggas was over there stealing and trying to make their women whores. You know, that's all they was doing. Pushing that wine, pushing that image, man, that wine on them. Go ahead.
You spoke about the other, on the Eastern coast compared to the West. This is on NBCnews.com.
Yeah, I saw that.
It says Saudi woman sentenced to 34 years in prison.
Face.
Sentenced
Oh, she was. Okay, all right.
to 34 years in prison for Twitter activity.
Hey, you know what? If we were in power right now, it'd be all kind of nigga women in jail behind their tweets, man.
Yep.
That shit is
Hell yeah.
bloody.
Man, it would be all the women. It wouldn't be no women.
Nah, it wouldn't be no different. All them hoes be in jail. Yep. Yep.
Death.
Yep.
Like you said this?
What? Go ahead. This morning.
I forgot exactly what she tweeted. They had something that was driving, I think.
Now she's just talking, talking shit basically about the conditions of women over there, and they weren't going for that shit.
Right. Yeah. Hey, over there they don't play that shit. You know. Right. They get over here and get a taste of America, good old wine, and think that that's the norm. And now your ass got 34 years in prison. You better shut the hell up and do what those men over there tell you to do.
We back in the kitchen.
Right.
Get back in the kitchen.
That's legendary.
Revelation chapter 8, 13. Chapter 18 and verse 3.
No, that was that X-Men shit.
Nah,
that was Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
That was
Kings
X-Men.
of the earth have committed fornication with her. Merchants of the earth are waxed rich with the abundance of her delicacies.
Yep, the whole earth, man, has tasted that wine, man, and have been deceived, you know. And those that are opposed to the American way, America finds a way to go over there, man, you know, and set up shop and try to push democracy over.
Yeah.
All right? The woman that tweeted and was sentenced 34 years, that's a westernized way of thinking. She's supposed to know better. But watch, she probably had a good old taste of that wine. It tasted real good to her. And now we supposed to have rights.
Bitch probably a Meg Thee Stallion fan or something.
Yeah. Done got on hotnewshiphop.com.
Yeah.
And you seen her hot.
It's empowering.
That's what they do over there. I like that. Now, bitch, wrap up and return and go in the house. You know?
But brother, that's what goes back to your point earlier about you can't serve two masters.
Right.
Either you're gonna serve your how about shot, which it comes with a program for the men, the women, and children, or you're gonna serve Esau, and this is what's gonna happen to your ass. Like you said, with that chip. Either you're gonna take it, or you're gonna look to Esau to protect you, to feed you, or you're gonna serve the Lord.
Right.
Either or.
That shows you how corrupt the American ideology is. Because like where it talks about how the nations are mad because they drink the wine. Because what did America do? America took their about force. Number one, they bombed them, left them in shambles.
Yeah.
And then they pushed their ideology on the people. And what does that do? That changes the customs and the things and the ways of life of the people that's been there for hundreds in thousands of years.
Yeah.
So now you have nations embracing that because they're seeing this money coming from it, the government's a problem, right? But now, as they're seeing this global infrastructure that Esau has built up, start to fumble and crumble, what are they doing now? They're like, you know what, we need to go back to our old ways.
But brother, you know who's messed up right now following the ways of Esau? China. China is expected to experience a massive, they about to go into a recession. Nobody wants to talk about that because we're in our own economic downturn. But the China man and all of them over there following the American way of grow. And you know, how many what do they say? Most of the billionaires in the world are in China. So they've been following this westernized this economic system, and it comes with what? Growth and recessions and collapses. So here we are. What? Thank the white man for that, Chinese.
Yeah, right. We're gonna get back into it. Yeah, hey, and you know the people over there, I was speaking about Afghanistan, that are having the most issues is the younger generation. Because all they know is America. Those that are 20 years and younger, from 15 to 20 to 21, all they know is the way that they country has been over there. And they're having a hard time readjusting and adapting. Now that they've gone and the Taliban has taken back over, the young generation that all they know is America being over there are having a hard time adapting to the Taliban's so-called
Way of life.
Their oppression, so-called. But no, that's how it was before America came over there 20 years ago. So yeah. These women wonder why they can't go back to school and things like that. They wouldn't have known that had America not come over there.
It's the fruit of it.
Just been a way of the, it's the fruit of it. How we spoke about in class a few weeks ago. They were never supposed to taste the ideology and the knowledge of America. And now they got to go back to being the way that their country was before America came over. That's a hard readjustment. If I was born a certain way 20 years ago, I was able to have more liberty and freedom. Now America's gone, and we've gone back to, nah, man. And that's how America destroyed cultures, man. Because those young people are going to have children, and they're going to
idolize.
They're going to idolize the way America has raised their parents, and then it's just going to be a snowball effect. Right? It's going to be hard for those Afghans to go back to where they were before America.
That's how you know that this is Babylon the Great.
Yeah, that's how you know. It's Babylon the Great that has the whole earth drunken, on their line.
Yeah, niggas ain't caught up on the Vatican.
Right. Oh, go ahead. You
And this is going back to what we were talking about with Moab and China. 2nd Ezra 15:46. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her. And it's not just Asia and China and Taiwan. These other countries too have made themselves just like the Western world. So this is why you're seeing a lot of these countries overseas now starting to fall before you even see America fall.
Yes.
Okay? Because America's always been this way. These other countries, they have a lot more to lose because they want the history being lost to the ways that America changed.
In America, the U.S. currency is still the world currency.
Right.
So America has more leeway for effing up.
And they have leverage.
They have leverage. They have Federal Reserves. You're dealing with foreign countries that most of them don't even have central banks.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Just stay on camera.
Okay, calm.
It says, woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated, and all her works and intentions. And that's what it's going to do. Everything that America comes up with, right? Remember 2011 with that same-sex law that Obama passed? These other nations were passing it first. They were passing it. This country is banned same-sex marriage law. Over here in Mississippi, have same-sex marriage. That's just an example, among other things. Okay?
These other countries be trial grounds for things to come here.
It says, therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses, and to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So now these other nations, they're going to be destroyed because they take on the ways of America.
That's right.
So once America's, like you said, reserves run out, the things, the fences and fortresses that they built politically and financially, once these things crumble, because it's going to crumble overseas like the government was saying, all right, then that's it for this place.
Because they own American debt.
Yep.
So when America decides to be the gangbanger goon that they are, they're not gonna pay them gooks over there. Like, we ain't got it, so what you gonna do about it? This is what's coming your way, Moab. And the scriptures say also that Moab, the Lord shall leave him with few. You chinks, man, you about to taste the wrath of the Lord too, man. Hey, because they created a chip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. that was a preview.
Social credit system, right? India has a biometric system. That's all that's part of Asia. Russia is on the Asian continent. Russia, all these countries are going to fall. Okay? It says, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall rise that is sent over me. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes.
And a poor woman with stripes?
Thou shalt be weakened.
Yeah. It says, thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes. And there's one
Whoop a homeless woman's ass.
Right. And there's one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers shall not be able to receive you. That's how bad it's gonna get. We're just waiting for that moment to hit. Because things are building up now, and we see the implications of it. Okay? That's why now these companies are trying to move towards what? CBDCs.
Yeah.
Central bank digital currencies. That's going to be their saving grace. Right? That's going to be that last gathering together for Esau and the system to try to bring the world, as one, and that's what it is.
And you're chipping Israelites too. Because there's Israelites scattered in all these lands anyway. Yeah. So whether you are Moabite, Edomite, Ammonite, our people is over there. So when you push this Edomite system, you're guilty. You still touching the apple of the Lord's eye.
Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand and on the forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he had that mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Which is corrupt. So it's going to be something that's going to be placed inside of you.
That's right. It ain't the internet.
Christianity.
Sleeping with white women.
Like, goddamn, niggas. It's a grain of rice, niggas.
Alright? So they're going to try the whole entire world, us included, Lord willing, we hold faith, and hold patience in the hour of temptation, while the whole world is being tried.
Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Right, so I'm going to land back on the officer, Captain, made a great point. And this is not only brought out a precept, speaking about Asia. All these, the MOTG is going to be pushed out into the entire earth. Okay, so everybody's going to get a crack at it, like I said. And everybody's going to push it and force it on everybody on the four corners of the earth. It has to happen. So any of those nations that are taking part in this, which they are, we're guilty by association.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why we keep mentioning or loosely paraphrasing Jeremiah the 50th and the first chapter, where it says the nations were drunk like the wine and were the land. Because they just wanted to be good.
Can I read this for you real quick? This is same chapter. This is Revelation 13 and 10. And it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Because with this whole system that's coming, that's the new captivity. That's the new buckler, that's the new chain and ball. You understand what I'm saying? So if you, like you're saying, if you part of this, trying to lead the Israelites into captivity, your ass is about to go into captivity. The scriptures also say in the same chapter that he that will take the mark, they're going to be killed because they don't take the mark.
Well, even so, all these nations fake were sealed even before all of this.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
The scriptures say every nation took the mark. With the 60 iron put the dirt on it.
Yeah, man.
Put it, what they call put it in the dirt.
The nail in the coffin.
Exactly. Just like what the two say. So that is the MOTB been pushing it as the ultimate. It's like the cherry on top of the cake. You know, because even so, like when we say what Moab, they have rulership over Israel. I think it was only like 18. But still, they had it in captivity for a time.
And that's enough time. That's enough time for them in 20 years. How long was America in Afghanistan? 20 years. That's enough time to go into captivity.
And you saw that.
It changed decades. It changed the generation. Born in that time in the 20 years later, you're an adult. All you know is the occupation of America and Afghanistan. So for us, imagine how much time we know how to stay close. All you know is
Yeah.
like you said, 20 years of destruction. Well, that's all they know. 20 years of destruction. That can fuck a man's mind up. Always seeing a war-ridden place, you know, holes in the wall, destruction always here. That's what fuck with you, especially as a kid, because kids are sponges.
PTSD is real.
Yeah, exactly. Kids can acquire PTSD as well. Yeah. Depending on how their environment looks. Look at Jake.
We all got PTSD.
We all got PTSD.
They say that if you're afraid, yeah, they said if you're afraid when police sirens and shit like that, you hear sirens and you get like a little, that's PTSD.
If your heart rate increases by getting pulled over, PTSD.
That's PTSD.
See, you know, come on, you said.
Oh, but I was going to find what you were saying.
Get Jeremiah 25.
This is Jeremiah.
Because this is going into how these other nations that they took part. You're gonna get it too. Yeah, Israel. You know, the Lord's dealing with Israel and putting us through our tribulations and our trials for our fuck ups. But it does not mean that you ain't gonna get it either. Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah 25:15. For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh shall power of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I see thee right.
It says, you can get that in Revelation the 14th chapter, where it talks about the cup of this indignation without mixture. And that's what it's, you can try that too. But that's what these nations gonna do.
That's right.
They're pushing this type of captivity on the entire world. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad, right, because of the sword that I will send among them.
Right. And they don't have a choice but to drink. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Then took I the cup out of the Lord Yahweh's hand and made all the nations to drink.
Right. It says it made all the nations to drink. And I'll say this too. Us being out here right now is making the nations to drink. Because they got to hear it. They got to hear it. I was, you think to yourself sometimes, think of that script. They should be brought up to the synagogues. You know, some men are going to be caught up and brought to the synagogues. What in the case, caught up, brought to the judge, brought to court. But in all actuality, them taking us to what they think they're taking us to court, they're actually taking themselves to court.
Yeah.
Because once we get in there, no, we're setting the judgment. We're telling you what's going to happen to you. It will definitely should. Just because I'm in this courtroom that you did, don't mean that I'm being brought to court. You're being brought to court. That's what's actually happening. The Spirit's going to take over, and we're going to be the ones with the gavel.
So scriptures say, think not what you're going to say.
Exactly. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Read again from the top. Jeremiah 25:17. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Lord Yahweh had sent me. Verse 18. To wit, Jerusalem, the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment.
Right, that's what I was saying earlier, because we're going through this for a reason. And you read the book of Lamentations. Like the third chapter, we're going through this in transgression. Go ahead, bro.
To make them a desolation and his day. Pharaoh,
How about you
Egypt, and his servants and his princes and all his people.
So it's starting to list all the nations that will get it. These are the nations that are going to drink of that cup. Go ahead, man.
And all the legal people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the legal people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and of Ashkelon, and Hazah, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod.
So all those are the Hamites. You can read about Ashkelon and Ekron and all them in the book of Zephaniah. Go ahead.
Verse 21, Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon.
Yep, Edom and Moab. All right, so Edom and Moab, that's just what we were talking about. You know, Esau's pushing this type of agenda, and Moab is taking its tail into grabbing Esau's tail, going right along with it. Moab is like the little kid with the little monkey backpack with the leash and Esau's holding.
Yeah.
Okay? You're still guilty by association. All right? Well, simply put, you push it. We talked about the priest we brought out. The Moabites over there are pushing the biometric system as well as the Indians.
Yeah.
All right? Over there in India, pushing the biometric system. All right? To push to the world. So they're a part of it too. That's why you read about it in Jeremiah 25. All this is the agenda. All this is going to take place. No Revelation the 13th chapter. But there's going to be individuals like the officers going into that ain't going to be with the shits, pretty much. Yeah, that better than you drop that in chapter 14.
If I can say too, man, and just for the record, it doesn't matter if you're a heathen and you don't take the chip. You're still going to get the same fucking judgment.
That's right.
Because you can't get salvation.
That's it. Because salvation is not for heathen.
Take it.
Salvation, it's on the world.
That's funny. Most High got a sense of humor for you.
But if the spirit, you know what? The spirit, matter of fact, really, we'll just say this for the sake of edification. If you look like the other nations and the spirit do hit you not to take that shit, you might be a jake, so don't take that shit.
That's right.
So let me clean that up. I want to just give, nigga, you know how Jake be. He told me I'm in the land of Africa, and he told me to take it.
Because a heathen, because first of all, a heathen's going to be for it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's their notion. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to do.
Well, you know what? To go even on another level, the elect is not going to take it. Like 2/3 is going to take it.
Because
Right.
they're heathen. Because that's what Paul called them. Paul called them that in Galatians, the 2nd chapter. 2/3 are heathens because they take heathenistic customs. So if it walk like a duck, it sound like a duck. It's a fucking duck. Okay? So if you walk like a heathen, act like a heathen, talk like a heathen,
Dress like one.
dress like one, you're a heathen. You got a mind like a heathen, you're a heathen. So heathens are going to take it. The elect are not. When the elect go into, because there's 3 types of categories of when you speak about the broad term elect. Of course, you got the 144, which really that's like their title is the elect, the 144,000.
Yeah.
Then you got another elect set, which is the 1/3. Who are going to follow behind the 144. You got the peace or multitude. That's a big number. All of it reminds you, I think it's Elijah, right? It says, and there are like 7,000 that did not bow down. Because he thought it was like he thought he was the only one. But really it's a lot. So we gotta have that mindset. It's like, being out here, I know these brothers can attest to this because they've been out here for 10 plus years. You know what I'm saying? It seems like this is it. It seems like that. And I'm not saying that's your mindset, but you hear what I'm saying? It's like, fuck, only 20 of us? 20 some odd? It seems like, damn, we the only ones. But there's millions out there.
It's electing heavens.
There's a million out there. Yeah, there's elect in heavens because the Lord's going to open the floodgates of the spiritual realm.
He's gonna bring us all back on the earth anyway.
It says all eyes shall see.
Con.
See? You know? Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Romans 11 and verse 4. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
That's right. He says reserved. Alright? Another good word is being preserved. Alright? And the elect right now are being preserved. Okay? We're not perishable items. Alright? What's up?
Romans 11 and 4.
You better hope you're preserved. Because that goes into being predestined. That goes into being predestined. Revelation 2 and 17 talks about the ones who overcome. Of course, y'all brothers all know about the other scripts that talk about predestination. You know? That's being preserved. Alright, go ahead. It's like it's meat. You put it into you're preserving it. You're saving it for a later time. The elect are being saved right now for a later time. And when the elect will willing to beat us, you're caught up in the chariot. You know, go ahead.
Romans 11 and 4. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
That's right.
Verse 5. Even so then, at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
Come on, there's a remnant according to the election of grace. Go to Isaiah the 10th chapter, start at verse 20. It talks about the remnant. All right? You got Israel, let's say this. Israel is like a wine bottle. You have a full wine bottle, you drink the whole wine bottle, and you have the dregs at the bottom. And usually the dregs, sometimes it's the most potent part of the wine that sit at the bottom. Real talk, that's the elect. And the rest of the bottle is Israel. That just get poured out or devoured, literally. But you save the dregs. The Lord has saved the dregs of that wine bottle, which is the elect. In Isaiah the 5th chapter, this brother does a good one. It talks about the wild grapes. Okay? The Lord planted the vineyard. Full of grapes. And I guarantee if the Lord's planted a vineyard, it's abundant. That means there's a lot of it. But only a couple of grapes are good. The rest became wild. So it's like this. The dregs, the elect are like the dregs of the bottle of wine, of a good, nice, aged wine that was preserved. See?
I got that word for you.
Go ahead, bro.
This is from the Edgemont Online Preserve. To keep safe or free from harm, act so as to ensure that something does not occur, to maintain, to keep in a certain quality.
Yeah, prime example. I'm in the car, so you got a rare car, like say a Ferrari Izzo. How often do you see those? Never. Literally. That's why they're worth $3 million. So anyone who does have it, guess what they do? They call it a garage queen. It sits in the fucking garage with a trickle charger on it. So the battery doesn't run. Or run out. Because, you know, if you let a car sit for a lot of time, the battery is not going to be good. So you have to have a trickle charge, give it a little charge so it can run when you're ready to drive it. But you got a $3 million car, you about to be driving it like an everyday car, like a Honda Civic. Hell no. You're going to preserve safe for later, special occasions, and let it appreciate. And that's exactly what the Lord is doing with the elect. We're appreciating right now.
Yeah, because when it grows value.
It grows value. That's right. And that's another thing. And that's another thing, right? Value. What do you think makes something value? How much is made of? How many of them are made? You got a pair of Jordans, 5 million pairs are made, but then you got this one. Okay, So we got Jordan 2. What the fuck ever. I don't like Jordan. But, you know, hey, that's 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, you know. When Paul spoke about you got to speak carnally so you can understand the spirit. All right? So just put this analogy. You got Jordan 2s that are made in mass, but then you got maybe Jordan 2 off-whites that were made 500 of them. But they're still Jordan 2s, but which one's more valuable? The one that's only got 500 made because it's such a small quantity, but everybody wants it. So it makes it valuable. So when you do get it, you hold it, you hoard it. That's why the truth is valuable. But you get it real time. We do, to an extent, hoard this truth for ourselves. Because it's supposed to say, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So when you get the truth, yeah, you want to keep it.
No, could it say it's like that man that found the pearl?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
In the field.
Yep.
Right in the field to keep that pearl. That's right. So if you really want to put value on this truth, that's what you do. Right? But what you profit off of, you share.
So that's what value is. Because I kind of want to, because speaking about the chip, like it's CHIP, okay? And there's going to be individuals who take it. Because it's simple. Go ahead.
Proverbs 14:15. Right. The simple believeth every word, right, but the prudent man looketh well to his word.
That's why we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay?
They say it's simple to believe with every word. That's why, 95% of the earth is 95% of the earth.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
They believe in every fucking word this man had to say. Right. What you think? What you think's gonna happen with this? But he also too, another thing he started doing with the hair thing is he gauged pretty much who's gonna take it and who's not.
Right.
It's an experience.
Continuing on, verse 16. A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rages and is confident.
That's right. But the fool rages and is confident. They're confident in their immorality. Real talk. The rage, the fool is rage. You know? So anyone who's rage removed is able to be, they don't think through. So a fool's going to take the single shot from too. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 17. He that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. Psalm chapter 9, verses Psalms 9 and 15, excuse me. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made, and the net which they hid is their own foot taken. Verse 16, the Lord is known by the judgments which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hikion Salah. So hey, the Lord is gonna just like you got Esau's mind, just like that Esau the trick bag, you got the other nations in the trick bag. Just like the brother said, the Psalms 33rd chapter, they conspired against us to take us down. Right. So the Lord is like totally pointing on the minds of these other heathens to start up World War III and also take them down into breaking into slavery.
The headline is "The Challenges Ahead for China's Digital Norm." Okay? which is the digital currency, August 20th, 2022, right? That's the date? Yep, that's the date. So it says, in 3 years of experiments, China's central bank has made significant progress in developing its central currency. Total transactions since late 2019 reached 83 billion won as of the end of May. Nearly 4.6 million merchants across China have come to accept the digital won known as the e-CNY as payment. People have used it for shopping, dining, personal finance, business, as paying taxes and employees. So it's already in process. So these other nations are already setting things up. All right? But because of that, that's what we're going into is what? That's going to get the implant involved. That's going to get them implanting Israelites that are among those people. And that's going to get them getting the same judgment as America. All right? But the infrastructure is in development. People are already using it for buying and selling like the prophecy said. Okay? It's just a matter of time for everybody to start getting it. Just like, what was it, a year ago? It was only a year ago that was pushing heavy with the vaccine. But now this year is
Like I say too, y'all remember when they transitioned from having paper and everybody had to get like digital.
Yeah, like it was like 09 or something like that.
The obsolete way of doing things just slowly went away.
Right.
And they implemented the analog went away and they went digital for the cable and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with the chip. You know?
It's right. Even forms of payment. Cash to a credit card, and a credit card got an ID. Chip that they do. Now Google Pay. Yeah. See the transition.
When you insert your chip in your car, how long does that last? 3 or 4 years? Now you don't even got to insert. You just tap the card. You just tap the card.
In the vehicle, it's all biometric now. So, stuff, things of that nature. You know, even also this like high-end cars, like Audi, things of that nature. Or you may have some cars that, when you get the top of the line premium package, they have a form of biometric to where you have a fob key. Like the Kia does it. Yeah, you have a fob key. When you get close to the vehicle, you just put your hand in the doorway, it will unlock itself. Because it senses your hand right there.
Yeah.
But you have the key fob. So that means you don't have to physically do something or, you know, me, I got an old car, you got a couple nothing like that. You know.
My rib got a 2014 Dodge, right? You got the key in your pocket. Yeah.
I didn't even realize that shit. I went out to go put something in the car and I didn't get the button there, but I knew it was locked. I just right. Like I mean I have another vehicle too that all I gotta do, I can put
devil.
Yeah, look how he's behind the handle, just like that.
You know they do the fingerprints now.
Yeah.
They do fingerprints on the doors.
It's going biometric.
Shit, your cell phone.
Yeah,
you
your
don't even
phone's
got
in
to
there.
type of code in no more.
No, you can look at the phone.
Yeah, you can use face recognition or the thumb.
You already know that motherfucker's gonna do all his shit.
If I can say, let's see if we can
It's
start
all trying to
do all this to connect everything to this system. That's what I'm saying. Every system we see all this stuff. Even being a chief, trying to mix it all up, make it it's good, but ultimately it's going to end in a great destruction, a great death. This is 1 Thessalonians 5, start at the top. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, just like we're saying, like, it's a whole build up to this, man. You know, like a term that brothers give around gradualism. Let's get to the point now. It's got to move quick. And that's all pursuing the prophecy, man. The days will be short for the elect sake. The days weren't short, and no flesh will be saved, man. Because the people in control of this society and government right now, they're purely wicked, man.
Earth spinning fast. Days are moving short, so they got that's less minutes during the day, there's less time during the night for them to get their agenda done.
Right.
So they gotta move quickly.
And everything that they're doing is not done in good faith, you know, for the betterment of the people. It's evident. We're evidence of that physically with our people, all 12 of the tribes, man. This devil ain't never did nothing for our benefit. Even like I was going to earlier, slacking. But the officer I was going to earlier, as far as the executive orders that people Joe has pushed, why is no coincidence that it's highlighting our people, because we're the targets. We've always been the targets. We will continue to be the targets. That's like we tell our people, hey man, these are your enemies. And everything they're doing, you see what they're doing, they've never been in your best interest. The best thing for you to do is to get right with the Heavenly Father, your how about you now shine, and trust in Him until it's safe out of
What's that? That's being in order. You gotta just, I might switch gears. So, that's being in order, right? Okay? Being in order. All right, so we all know this is like then, where you have to push that like that alpha male, you gotta be alpha male, don't be a beta, things of that nature. So hey bro, you consider yourself an alpha? You truthful. That's truthful. Hey, Gabar, you consider yourself an alpha? Absolutely. Solomon? That's true. Everybody's not an alpha.
Nah, I'm a
Everybody. No, we don't talk about it, brother.
Let's talk about it. Go ahead with it.
Because everybody ain't an alpha. See what I'm saying? Give Revelation the first chapter.
Because see, we're all miniature.
Right.
We're all miniature Yahweh Shais. You can't be this is all, if you are an elect, you are automatically an alpha. Right. Because, I'm going to say this. Really the whole alpha thing goes, when they deal with that study, it goes into the animals. And when you deal with wolves and animals, the alpha is the main one. First of all, being an alpha or whatever deals with genetics. It deals with you having the best genetics of your animals, and you're going to continue that line, which is the elect, because the elect is the first fruits. Everybody's going to come out of the elect womb, so technically speaking, if you're quiet or if you're not violent, you can still be an alpha. Correct.
There may be other males in that pack. So I think wolf still have that wolf that ain't an alpha still has characteristics of the wolf. Roaches, freak deals, good hunter.
But genetically speaking, it's inferior to the alpha.
Very true. But can that wolf call off the deal?
No.
No. That's the thing.
Let me say this too. Go into a crowd.
Challenge.
A wolf. I mean a lion. Okay, say that lion does end up losing to that alpha lion. That lion can go and be an alpha of another tribe. Mm-hmm. I've seen hippopotamus fight.
Right.
It's the same thing. Now hippopotamus can go be an alpha of another tribe.
Yeah, kangaroos. Same thing.
They can. Not everybody can be an alpha in a sense. But let me say, give Revelation to first chapter.
Because see, in the spirit, we come together to do something together. And in y'all's day-to-day life, you the man in your own life, you are in your own storyline. We just come together for this part of the story, which is in your own life,
which is order.
Right.
So everybody can't be necessarily an alpha in a body because there's an order. Okay? So read this. Because let me say this. I'm going to ask this question. Is Yahushua the ultimate man or an ultimate alpha male?
Say that again.
Was Yahushua the ultimate man or the ultimate alpha male?
Both.
Why say both? Because that's the truth. That's a correct answer.
Well, I say that because through the spirit, my Yahweh again, to be a man and to be an alpha male.
Because guess what?
You know me.
We have, I'm gonna let you, because we have alpha males, beta males that get terrible, right? But really, beta males have great characteristics, such as what a beta male is charismatic. Which charismatic brings out devotion in others.
Hold on, I got you, bro. This is the problem. This is the problem.
Omegas.
You know what?
Delta males, go ahead.
The problem with it is, in this society, we're trying to signify if a man is alpha male, this, that, and the third. But the real problem that plagues the society is most men don't know what a man is.
Right.
So how could you skip? You can't skip the step of either. Once you be a full set man, then you can figure out where you fall into place after that. But this society, we're amongst children, little boys and little girls. So it doesn't even matter the whole whether you see yourself. Before you can see yourself as that, you gotta be a fucking man first.
Why? Because I knew you were gonna catch on to my drawings, because that's exactly what I'm trying to say. With this society and how they push what an alpha male is supposed to be, just take the characteristics of it. You might not necessarily, because this society describes an alpha male, well, you gotta do this, whatever. Like I watched dude Steph So Cold.
Oh, fuck them.
I don't, thank you, because I don't like that.
Yeah, fuck them.
You know what I'm saying? That red pill, blue pill shit. To an extent, you hear what they say, but they be going off on what an alpha should really be. Because let me say this. If there's an alpha male, to me, what an alpha female is one that submits. An alpha female is Titus, the 2nd chapter.
But bro,
Go ahead.
that goes back to the point. We live in a society because everybody doesn't. It's just thrown around because we're not in a society of truly mature men or women.
Because you know, what you're doing,
Right. Hold on. You don't gotta put the camera, but this brother, we read a book not too long ago. And how did that? Remember the book, The Man? There was the
Magician, the
right.
lover.
He did a point of describing in male psychology. He said what? What is a man? What is the characteristics of a man? What signifies a man from a boy? And it had nothing to do with how fast you were, how strong you were. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with how calm, you being calm. A man is calm. And Yahushua was calm through his whole ministry. So that's why I was saying, really, technically speaking, Yahushua is the ultimate man. And what makes him the ultimate man, automatically he just gains the token of being the alpha male because he is the ultimate man. What was it? Calm.
Revelation 1 and 8.
Because this is what
Regenerative.
Revelation 1 and 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending.
What did he just say? Read it from the top.
Verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega.
So Yahushua said, I'm the Alpha and the Omega. So Alpha is the first letter in the Greek alphabet, Omega the last, of course. So if he's Alpha and Omega, he's everything in between. That's everything. He comes in the volume of the book. So that makes him have characteristics of delta, a psi, a pi, a sigma, a beta, alpha, and omega. He has it all. So he's the ultimate man. It's not just one thing. It's just not an alpha.
See, if I may say, bro, it's a great subject matter. But what I want to say to it is that what we have to remember, let's go back to the Genesis, the class that the bishop did the other week. The three types of types of men before you got the 18 nations, right? You got the sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked. What you have to understand is when you're studying, I spoke on this before at camp too. When you study kinghood or kingships, even historians and scholars know there's a whole different energy on Israel. How we as a men, as us as men, that we are, is completely different than Moab, Ammon, Ham, Edom, and so on and so forth. And you know what it all goes back to? I know I'm long with it, but it goes all the way back to what we're reading right now, 1 Samuel. Because 1 Samuel, what did the Lord got mad because what did Israel want? Israel wanted a king like the other nations. But the Lord said the original plan was the Lord was supposed to be our king. So that already in itself makes us different than all the other nations. That in itself completely puts us in a whole nother ballgame. That's why I was saying on the side, this is a good conversation, but really in the spirit, all Israelite men are alphas.
Right.
All of them.
Hey, you caught my drift. That's why I keep saying I'm agreeing with everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even so, like, the alpha, I look at it as an alpha. Anyone saying like I'm an alpha, beta, delta, sigma, whatever the fuck you are, it's characteristics. You know, they're all. It's like a water. Because guess what? Even the alpha, all that, it all boils down to being what? So like from a particular tribe.
Yeah.
Read 1 Corinthians 11 and 1.
You can't put Israel in the box. And then just maybe some more scripture. Revelation 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
We're
it.
all a nation of kings and
priests.
We're kings.
So the men of Israel are automatically top. So where do you get this category of alpha, beta? It doesn't mean the kingdom is saying, well, he's the alpha, he's the beta. No.
We all have characteristics and attributes of whatever sigma, delta, alpha you want to fucking say. But we're the ultimate of all of them.
Because
You know what I'm saying?
at the end of the day, Israel, you got to keep in mind, going back to the point of originally every other nation, the scriptures say what? That the idols of the other nations, the gods of the other nations are idols.
Right.
So with us, we got a whole, see, the fact that we, going back to 1 Samuel, the original plan was to not have a king. Because why? That's the ultimate sovereignty that we were supposed to have as a people. You just had the priests, and you had your own sovereignty, and you were to rule your domain how you saw it fit. But the other nations, they got idols. We are the people of the true living power. So we ultimately are that's what makes us the most humble people on the planet Earth, because we have a real power. That's why our energy is what? Give all the glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's that whole energy. But the other nations, that ain't their program.
That's right. My real, she's like, women don't understand that sometimes it's squishy. But, they maybe a little slower. She got cake.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I was like,
yeah.
is everyone good? She's awesome. All of them are good. I'm like, yeah, right. All of them are Jake. She's like, because anytime I see, someone acting like a dude, I think that's Jake. I'm like, in a sense, real talk. In the spirit, I believe I'm bad, but real talk, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to be a Jew. I'm trying to be like a Judah.
Yeah, but we all come from Judah.
I'm trying to be like a Judah. So read 1 Corinthians 11 and 1. To keep it a buck with you, you may be Issachar, you may be bad, you may be moving, but you're trying to be like a Judah. Go ahead, man.
This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 1.
Right.
Ye followers of me, even as I am of the mighty God.
Right. Because what was Paul? He's a Benjamin. He's following the Judah. So that goes into me saying, yes, we all have characteristics that may be an alpha, but there's really a truly sense like one alpha when it comes to order sake.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why Yahweh Shai is the tallest of us.
There we go. And when it comes to the tribes, everybody can't be that alpha. Yeah, Genesis 49.
This is Genesis 49.
And that's why we follow what you got. Go ahead, buddy.
Genesis 49 and 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise, thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies.
He got your brother in show praise. You know what I'm saying? So I get in a sense when I ask, are you an alpha? And they're like, no. That's a good answer, real talk. Because even if you were to ask me, I don't always have the characteristics of a quote-unquote alpha male.
But see, hold on. That's why I was saying what I was saying to brothers. It's just important for you to understand that you can't get all your. That's why we deal with the counsel of the Lord versus dealing with the counsel of men, because how an Edomite is and how a Moabite is completely different than us. Because again, the whole specifications of us as Israelites is completely different. It's completely different. Like you made a great point. These other stuff so cold, and these other entities of how they talk. Yeah, an alpha male don't take shit from nobody. The alpha male don't do that. The alpha male don't do this. And it's just kind of like, bro, that shit don't got nothing to do with nothing, man. You just described a rebellious nigga.
You know what it is? All those type of individuals, it's because they were hurt by women. And they're just venting. And then they made a platform after this. You see, it makes me income. That's all it is.
That's bullshit.
And it's bullshit. Because if you're an alpha male, that means you have conquered all characteristics of every other man. You have everything. You're the full package. You're the ultimate. That's why you call Yahweh Shai the ultimate man, because he has everything. He was charismatic, which is an attribute of a beta. A sigma male is a lone. They call a sigma male a lone wolf. Was he in the Garden of Gethsemane by himself? Delta male.
But see, this is like you said.
If I may say, Delta male has the characteristics of, love working for his society. Well, didn't Yahweh Shai put his life down for the society of Israel? So doesn't he have all characteristics of everything, making him the ultimate man? That's why we want to follow him. But in the sense, if we take it to the order sake of things, he's out. If you want to put that title, you see what I'm saying?
This is why it's important to lean on the counsel of the scriptures. And what the men of the Lord, what the prophets said, because see, going back to the original point, that's why salvation is only for Israel. Literally, it's just for Israel, because at the end of the day, hold on, I got something for you. This is where's that in? Is that where's that? 1 Samuel judging out of court on the outside? Is it 2 Samuel 15?
4:10.
1 Samuel.
Oh, I'm sure.
If somebody could get it, because I want to bring that out. Judging out the outward appearance.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's in Samuel. Yeah. But see, you got it. Bring it out now real quick.
1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature.
Because see, these other nations, that energy, you got to remember a few chapters before what was going on. They were, hey, we want a king, so we could be like the other nations. We want a king. And what did the Lord do? The Lord gave him the biggest okie-doke. Oh, word? You want to be like the other nations? All right, cool. I'm going to give you Saul, because Saul's the biggest of everybody. So he's the tallest, the strongest. So I'm going to fill your needs with that. But what does the scripture say? Read that again.
1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature.
Yeah, because now we're in a time where everything is spiritual. A brother might be according to the society. Oh, you can't. Because again, this whole alpha and all this extra shit, it goes back. Niggas want to make it what it is to say that they're an alpha. All right, but at the end of the day, when you look at the animal side of things, the alpha has the best genes. He has the genes that are going to be preserved amongst that generation to be passed on to continue on the best of the best. Right. So whether you be, bro, you could be a grown ass man and be 5'1", 89 pounds, right? You could be 4'9" and 89 pounds. But if the Spirit is with you, you are a choice pick, because the elect of the nation of Israel is in charge of literally bringing back the whole nation.
Well, King David, they said King David was the
Smallest.
he was the youngest. He was the youngest, right? What did Goliath say about King David?
He was ruddy.
He was ruddy. He was a youth. You know, he was like a stripling. You know, he was like a young man. But that was the man the Lord chose, especially as he grew up, to be the king over to this day.
To this day.
We wait for King David to come back. So,
Imagine that.
I guess who came out of his line?
Come on now. That's because we're in a new era. See, we were talking about this last week. We were talking about this last week about the fact, or weeks, the last several weeks, about the fact that Jake is really slow. Jake is really slow. Jake, how niggas look at dealing with women, how they look at dealing with each other, how they look at leadership and all these points. They're still in a barbaric way of thinking. We got the inside scoop on reading in this scripture dealing with King David. That was a whole new introduction. The Philistines, they were still in it. Oh, this is Goliath. We gotta worship him. We gotta, he's the man. He's the champion.
The movie that shows that is Joy.
Yeah.
It's Joy. At the very beginning of that movie, we saw Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Good looking dude, small, took his ass out in one hit, just like David.
Absalom. Can't forget King David's even son. That simplicity that our people are still in today, it goes back, even back. I'm gonna follow him because he's beautiful.
What the fuck you talking about? We're talking about like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like, if they took anything, like any aspect, inspiration from the scripts, they'll still get along and be like, well, you gotta be a Judite to be an ultimate man.
Yes.
So you telling me if I'm Gad, I'm a piece of shit? I'm a beta? No, it don't fucking work like that. What was you gonna say, bro?
Like I said, that's why
You had a question too.
this coming together is so important, because they always mention Judah and Jerusalem, the southern and the northern.
Right.
But we all men.
Like we all men at the end of the day. There's
Hebrews of Hebrews.
that's real. What was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, the different characteristics, all these Greek letters, whatever, they make up different parts of the body, so they all do have to be different because they have different functions.
That's a good one. Because Judah don't make up 12 tribes.
You know what?
We need Levi, we need Gad, we need Manasseh, we need Asher, we need Naphtali. We need
Levi.
all of these to be one. You know what I'm saying?
If you go back in the ancient days, only Levi was the priest. They're the only one that could go and make the sacrifice for us.
Right. Can Levi be the alpha because they were the ones
They the ones that
Judah didn't do that.
Right.
So it's like, what do you like?
So
where do you get that?
When you read the scriptures, it said Benjamin is near and dear to the Lord's heart. I make him out.
But we're one nation.
And if I could add to your point, what you said about the letter, what's it, letters of signs?
Oh, the Greek alphabet.
That's written in the scriptures too, because it tell you that in 1 Corinthians 12 about the different operations, the different parts of the bodies. It tell you that in Romans 12.
It used to land back on what comes to a point to where I'm gonna keep doing this. All of us are gonna be alpha of our own group.
Yeah. That's the point.
Well, really, we're alpha of our household, like you said earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you just have to put a title on it, you know what I'm saying? But while we're in the body, there's a order. Okay? Everybody can't be the alpha in a body or something.
But see, that's why scriptures say what? Have not lordship over your men. There's a certain way of which that we deal with each other in the spirit that makes us the nation of Israel. These other nations, again, when you look at, pick any nation, the Egyptians, the Philistines, the Medes. Think about all these nations when they had a king like the Shalmaneser one and Xerxes and these Cabinet, all these different people. When they were the king, in other nations, when you have a king, your king is literally the manifestation of God. That's why in Proverbs, the 21st chapter, it tells us what? That the Lord deals with the kings of the nation and the hearts of the kings. So really, the king of any the pharaoh, whoever, is literally the manifestation of that nation and that man that deals with the Lord. But that's not us.
Yeah, you want to know what it's called the anointed cherub,
Yeah.
right? The anointed cherub, that was right under most of set that because that's how the Lord is.
You know, another thing I got from you with sometimes that is another way that makes Israel different from all the other nations and how we move. We move with humility.
Yeah.
We're there. Our kingdom,
Priest king. Yes.
That's our kingdom. That's why it's so different than everybody else's. Because in a sense, like a dictatorship, your kingdom is a little selfish.
I'm gonna get that real quick for you. And Samuel.
We check the barrier slide 17. Con, yeah, you just want to hit 20. You might want to ask for the charge. You know, got it.
He follows of me, even as I am of Mashiach. Now I pray, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. Verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is the Most High. So, like brother was saying, like the Captain saying, get into like overly consumed in the things of classifying, boxifying all the ins and outs of everything. It adds it's a means to an end. But you know, ultimately, that we already have an understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's more important. It's not charging to figure out and understand where you fit in the versus the exact number. If I'm the 2007 and 39th Judite, of the 12, the woman, it don't matter. It's more. It's more
seems dead. The light's not even coming on.
So, shit, am I in that number? Period.
It might be dead. But don't the light supposed to come on?
When the saints go among you, okay, it's all about the saints being delivered so the world will back on this total right. And it doesn't. It's not. Listen, most of them are all you set it up.
It's probably the cord. Maybe in here trying to plug it up and bending the goddamn cord and shit.
This is Isaiah 11.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11, and verse 12. It reads, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Right, so the Lord's going to have all the outcasts of Israel outcasts. We're scattered across the globe, right? We're not kings, we're not priests, right? We're not best to get out here. Alright? Okay, the other nations hate us, hate our guts. But the Lord says he's going to gather us, the outcasts. Go ahead.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Verse 13, and the envy also of Ephraim shall depart.
Right, so the envy of the other tribes, as we're being gathered together, that's going to go away. Why? Because we're going to see the commonality we have. That number one, right, you are all loaves together. That's also Isaiah, where it says, basically, Judah and Israel was oppressed together. So there's no room for us to try and be one up on each other.
The enemy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Right, now everybody that's coming against Judah, all the bickering between the tribes, that's going to be stopped. Go ahead.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
And Judah ain't going to sit here for the rest of the tribe saying, well, I'm not in Israel. No. Okay? The Lord is, I quoted earlier, Revelation 5 and 6. The Lord is building one nation together to rule under the commandments of the Alpha and Omega Yahweh. Okay? Like we were speaking earlier, once Esau starts to implement this digital system, okay, he's going to be destroyed. Right? We're not going to be walking around here trying to build up our kingdom within Esau's kingdom. Because he wants control of everything anyway. So the Lord's going to cut him off, and he's going to build us up to be what? Okay?
This is Revelation 5 and verse 9. It reads, and they sung a new song saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof.
Yeah, see, we're singing a new song. We're singing a new ideology. We're singing something that this world, okay, can't go through. All right? King David is old, and there's nothing that's going to do in this small house in the Middle East, although especially that's going to be the language of we're going to rule just there. No, we're going to rule the whole planet. There's a new song that's being sung. So the whole world's outlook and perspective is going to change. Okay? This old ideology of the heathens, how they're going to rule and how they do things, that's not how the world is going to be ran in the near future. Okay? Go ahead.
For thou wast slain and hast redeemed us by the Most High, by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Verse 10, and hast made us unto our power kings and priests.
Right, so we're bigging up Yahweh Shah. We're praising Yahweh Shah. And with that comes a new vibration in the earth. Also shows a new level of witness. So we're all going to be okay, we're all going to be on the level. Alright? Starting with the to rule the planet how it's supposed to be ruled. Okay? Now how the other nations are going to be dealt with, we're going to be dealing with them according to their commandments. Okay? They're going to pay homage to the gods of the
I get it.
Okay?
Just trying to seal this charge.
Sending praises to Yahweh Shai. Alright?
No.
And that's going to be the order.
Put it back how you had it, where I can see the battery.
That's going to
See?
be the order.
It's on 12%.
Last time it was the plug part.
Yeah, I don't even think it's on. Let me see. There we go.
As this one,
Now it's charging. As long as that light on.
I just keep looking at it.
You want to check it? See right here by this X?
Go by it and just do that.
Okay?
Tap the water.
Right? So things are going to change major way.
Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 13. When I have bent Judah for me, fill the bow with Ephraim, and raise up thy son, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man.
Yeah, so the Lord is going to raise up 12 tribes, the elect of the 12 tribes together, all right, to be against the nation of Edom and the ones that's underneath them, okay? To do what? To put them under our feet. We're going to have the crowns. We're going to have the ephod. We're going to have the scepter. We're going to have the right mindset to put everything how it's supposed to be. To where the trees are going to praise. All right? To where the animals are going to be at peace. The right scripture says that the lion and the lamb shall lie down together. That's the level of reign and stewardship that Israel is going to have. But it starts with our mindset. Okay? It starts with what we bring into our spirit. And how we transform the spell and let that shine. That's what Yahweh Shai was talking about. That's why Yahweh Shai said the kingdom of heaven is within us. Okay? Alright? We want to change what we are within the spell to let that shine within us.
The Lord shall be seen over them. The arrows shall go forth as the lightning. And the Lord power shall blow the trumpet. He shall blow with the whirlwinds of the south.
The Lord is going to take out the thing. Alright? The point is, the Lord is raising up his okay, to be on a certain place. Alright? Yahweh Shai said that whatever work one man has with his different talents and things, he's going to gain more. If he's doing the right thing, we're all going to have our dominion. We're all going to be that moving out from whatever we have. Okay? We're all going to have our rightful place. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter when it goes down to the judgment.
This is Revelation. This is Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Yeah, because the way this world is, that's going to change. We ain't going to be having precious fit cotton as it is. Okay? We're not going to have AMS sitting there. We're not going to have that in the kingdom. Kevin Samuels is not, we're not going to have the Israelite women parlay to Kevin Samuels is going to be. Okay? That's going to be left in this place. Okay? It's going to be a new heaven. Right?
Verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Right. God is perfect. Everything is going to be unique to him. So that's going to be the most I don't talk about stuff like that.
Because even in like a true union of a man and a pure woman, a woman is pure. You see, so even like a lot of the constructs and things that are debated now, like it's gonna be done away with, man. It's gonna be completely like the priest says, it'll be a completely new, fresh vibration upon the earth and throughout the whole universe. Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to be with men. What men? The Israelite men. Okay? Not with Israelite men, Alpha and Beta men, nations. He's going to be somehow. No. When the tabernacle of the Lord, his order of things is going to be with the Israelite men. We're going to be according to the way he wants us. We're going to be made according to the way he wants us. That's not to be the case. Okay? The Lord said he's going to put the commandments, the laws, and the Holy Spirit in our inward parts. Okay?
And he will dwell with them, they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their power. Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, no sorrow, no crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things will have Revelation 21:4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, no sorrow, no crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Right. So everything that we cry and moan about, that's going to be done away with once we established as the true power in the earth. The former things are passed away. Okay? It's going to be what the Lord wants. We're going to be the kingdom of the earth. Okay? Not going to have really like but that's, you know, you're not going to have women needing to check with you. You're not going to check it up. You're not going to have people like women having to check other women. You're not going to have brothers who can teach other brothers. You can say that. You're not going to teach everyone the same. Okay? Everything's going to be set in order. Right? One of the things that's going to be done away. Right?
But I say too, a part of that pain that we as people deal with, and even us sometimes men deal with, is not knowing like where you fit in, especially in society. It's cast so much confusion that like if you're not 6'9", $150 million in your bank account, you ain't no real man. It's like goddamn, you just got a decent job, I take care of my household, I take care of my kids, charitable, I do all these things. I'm a fucking real man. It's like Israelite, and you're perfected before the eye of the Most High, that's going to be enough. It ain't going to be no to an extent, you're going to be content with the spirit. There's going to be no pain and hardship about where you fit. You fit.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody's going to fit with you in the proper order. Okay? What makes us less of a man than Shaq? 7 foot plus, a couple of $100 million in the bank, right? Lord, look at Shaq and say, oh, but what makes me a man than myself? Okay? I work a job.
What makes you more of a man than him?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. What makes me more than a man than him?
You got the Lord with you.
Right?
Resources. These resources ain't going to carry into the end.
Right.
All that shit going to
Serving the Lord, right? We ain't brothers serving the Lord will carry us into what we're talking about. Okay?
This is Revelation 21:5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new.
All things going to be new. Okay? All things going to be new, refreshed. Everybody's going to find where they fit. Everybody's going to be put where they fit. Everybody's going to have their proper administration. Okay? And like I said, we're going to be content. We're going to be happy. We're going to be
and he said unto me, right, for these words are true and faithful.
Okay? Now we learn these things in order to edify. We don't put ourselves in it. We limit to ourselves. Don't limit yourself. We're supposed to be protecting it to beyond. Like if we follow the house, we're going to be greater. So the worst we do, we're going to be what the house is trying to do. It's not going to be greater. But our works in this ministry, with the Lord, the scripture says, I can walk into your house and spend it. Right? So that's what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to live eternally. No more death. We're going to have all the time in the universe to edify and build up ourselves up. Okay?
Since you mentioned immortality, I got some 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and I'll start at 50. It says, nowadays, this brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed.
Right, not everybody's going to be born in the heaven of the spirit world. Okay? A lot of us are going to be changed. All right? We're going to be changed out of these chains of darkness, these fleshly bodies, okay, literally, to go into celestial bodies. The mind says that hard mindset is taken away. The Lord will be able to put it.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Right, the dead shall be raised incorruptible. You're incorruptible, can't nothing destroy you. When you're incorruptible, nothing can kill you. When you're incorruptible, nothing can beat you down. We've been here. We're in that state now. Okay? We've been broken down. We've been destroyed as people. Right? Passed on and died in our past lives. We're reincarnated now. So what's left for us to get and gain once we step into the ways of Yahweh by spiritual shot? That incorruption.
This corruptible must put on incorruption.
We must put on incorruption. Right? We have to take that away. We have to change ourselves and step into incorruption. We must put that on. We strive for the master. We learn, like I said, everything we're talking about, we learn these things. All right? But we take that and we filter it back to what the Holocaust shot said. And we strive even beyond what we're learning to learn. Okay, we lose all that, like Paul says. It's mortal. Right? Must put on immortality. Okay? Bible shot, somebody give me what's in the solid in the 6th chapter. Alright.
So then, when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Oh, where's thy sting?
No, you just read that in Revelation 21. So once we're immortal, there's no more death. And with no more death means there's no more sorrow. There's no more tears. There's no more crying. Okay? While you're crying and sorrowing, and there's immortality, there's hope of everlasting life. That's John 3:16. Go ahead.
It says, O death, where's thy sting? O grave, where's thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
Right. Yeah.
Verse 56. The sting of death is sin.
Right. The sting of death is sin. Right. Because you sin, therefore death is the outcome of the effect of you sinning. Right? Go ahead.
And the strength of sin is the law.
And the strength that sin can bring into the world is the law, but the breaking of the law. Go ahead.
But thanks be to the Most High,
But thanks be to the
which giveth us the victory.
Which giveth us the victory.
Our Lord Yahweh Shai. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Always abounding. Right? Take what we're learning. Bound. Still 13. Knowledge and grace of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Yeah.
For as much as he
I'm
knows
saying,
that
I'm
your
watching.
labor is not in vain in the Lord.
Watch this
Right.
stop
My
before
labor
they
is
hit
not
up.
in vain in the
Oh,
Lord.
come on,
Lord
this.
gonna make it better and better and better. Okay, y'all good on that?
We should have some juice. We almost done anyway.
We'll close up at 10, brother.
So he said 10 minutes. Yeah, it's going survive. The water, bro.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 12. Wisdom is glorious, never fadeth away.
Right, so now let's get into the wisdom in the gospel what it's supposed to have. The wisdom of your heart about your child. That's what it's going to have. Okay, so that intellectual immortality and also the child of okay? Knowing the Lord, that's what makes us better. Right?
Yeah, she is easily seen of them that love her and found of such as seek her.
Right, so you have to seek after the wisdom of the Lord. All right? The wisdom and knowledge of the world is readily available as the things that are Google search. So what does it bring? It brings debate, strife, contention, confusion, okay? That rat race spirit, all right? This is a marathon of a man overcoming himself.
Verse 13. She prevented them that desired her, and making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his door.
Right, so when you look for the wisdom of the Lord, you find out, eventually, you're going to go through trials and tribulations to gain it, but it's right there for you. Especially when you start listening to the prophets. It's just about you taking the time out to learn and gain it. Okay, seeking her out. Like I said, her. Go ahead.
Verse 15. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought.
Right, so everybody doesn't gain the wisdom. All the elect that are seeking her, those are the ones that she shows herself.
Verse 17. For the very beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
Right, so you gotta want the discipline. All right, you gotta want that success. Okay, but you gotta desire it in a way that is going to benefit you in the long run. Okay, you gotta trust the process. You gotta say.
And the care of discipline is love.
The care of discipline is love. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
And what is love? Love is obedience. See how about the one shot? Love is obedience to the commandments. Love is obedience to the Lord of His will. You should come to your own ways and submit to God. You're going to follow forward. You're going to follow forward with what you love to do. You're going to love yourself. This way I'm not taking it to what you do. What did they do with your children?
Because even with myself learning, even with love, like the priest said, obedience, it's simplicity too, man. Because even going back to how we're going to reading the book of Samuel, how Israel wanted a king, it was really simple. It was just you guys have to serve the Lord. You have to go through no extra intermediaries. Just the seer and the Lord. You can serve. It's simplicity.
A simple setup. Get complex. Okay? But that discipline is going to keep you simple, straight, and
Verse 18. And love is the keeping of her laws.
That's how you keep yourself in that business. Go ahead.
And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
And that's what we just read about, right? The assurance of incorruption is being on that path of keeping the obedience of the Lord through his commandments and trusting in his son, the outside. You can't just keep it all. You got to believe in the outside. Because he was the trailblazer. Okay? Like what Brother was saying earlier, he's the alpha. We follow him. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be on the level like this. Okay? The scripture says in John that he's the first of many sons. Okay? So following him makes us the son too. Right?
Verse 19. Incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High.
And that incorruption maketh us near to the Most High. Well, like I said, you have to put the spirit in your mindset. And the Lord is going to be able to change him in the physical. But if you're not doing the right thing, he's not going to see no need to change. Okay? But you got to be incorruptible. God for that spirit first. You got to have that kingdom mindset within your spirit first. Right?
Verse 20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
Therefore, desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Okay? That's what we're all striving for, right? Go ahead.
21. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters.
Right. Everybody wants the kingdom. Why want to be on the throne? You want the scepter, right? Riches. You want to be able to tell the evil what to do. Okay? And that's your desire, is, bro. Go ahead.
O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom.
Oh, what is it? Oh, ye kings of the people. You're a nation of kings and priests. Okay? Together. All right? Notice what the scriptures call us king. Right? Or let's say, I was speaking of the captain earlier, just the fact that Israel's waking up to call other men king. What's up, king? Right? That's a part of us waking up. That's a part of us gaining some kind of incorruption back unto ourselves. Right? And not be those outcasts. So everything ties back in. Okay? So on, boy. So on, boy. Okay? Oh, you can't go to people. Desire, acceptance, and wrong. Go ahead.
O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore.
Honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Alright? That's what it's about. It's about us reigning forevermore in the right spirit with the right wisdom. Okay? Alright, so with that, only the edifying. Alright, we're going to give our praises, our glory, our honors unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and others of the Shalom.
Shalom.
And we just meet the brothers halfway down.